the percentage of men in the U.S. under the age of 30 that have no sex at all?
15%.
Katie?
Oh, I got new numbers.
I was going to say 30.
40.
I would say like 10. Oh, sorry. I would say like 10.
Yeah, I'd say like 10.
10%?
Maybe.
So it's about 33%.
Yeah.
What? I've been spot on with my percentages today.
Oh man, yeah. I mean,
Is that confusing? For those of you who said 10, why does that seem confusing to you?
Well, like under the age of 30, no sex at all. Like those are like their prime years. They should be out there getting it.
Not
like
really.
that.
Their prime years would be over. So according to dating websites,
Yeah.
their prime years are about 38 to 45.
But like no, what?
Men
For
are,
men,
men
I
are in their
think
prime
that's
much
opposite.
later in life
Much,
than women.
yeah.
But still, like they're
Have you ever
young.
talked to
they're
somebody
having
your age?
fun, They're like
Barely
going
have a
up there.
conversation.
You're a little
I don't
shit in
know.
your 20s.
I don't know.
Most guys, yeah. You're a little shit.
The other thing,
Clueless.
Like,
broke.
with the way the world is now, we've gone so more technical than in person.
Sure.
So
That makes sense.
I feel like maybe before,
Merch.
yes, but now I feel like a lot of men now, especially a lot of people have gone tech like for work, so that keeps you kind of more. But I think the whole world has kind of gone more virtual than anything else. So I'm kind of.
I'm gonna add on to that because I feel like nowadays in person, like people are awkward, men and women.
Yes.
And COVID did not help.
No, and they don't know like what to say, or even like people even like don't even know how to like ask me out on a proper date in person. It's awkward. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest shit.
Or just even eye contact. You're having a conversation with
No,
someone and
they'll
nobody can
just-
even keep eye contact. That
I just-
so
Yeah,
you guys
I
are
just
going
think-
in your shield, you know what I mean?
I just think
Like,
as a dancer, you're in a unique position to talk about this,
Yes,
about
literally.
about how
I have to force it. I have
Yeah.
to force conversations with these men. Hey, how are you? I have to do everything, you know, and like it's.
you feel like the therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, at 1,000 an hour, that sounds like a good gig.
yeah.
Okay, so going back to what you said,
There's a
you-
reason I asked that, but go ahead.
You are 100% right. So what happened was it was about, I want to say 15, 16% in 2008 and went up to 33%. Why did it go up there? Because of the iPhone, and you see like this hockey stick where it goes up. It is the Facebook app on the iPhone that triggers this. What happens is now I am being made fun of anonymously, and I am dealing with the opposite sex anonymously or virtually, and nothing become like there's just something to when I was in junior high and we walked outside during recess and there was about to be a fight. And you just knew there was going to be a fight. You could just feel it.
It was fun.
But you just you knew there was going to be a fight, and that you lose all of that. Now, I'm not saying get into a fight. What I'm saying is there's this spidey sense. There's this evolutionary sense that you have. Violence is about to occur. I'm alert. I need to read the room.
Situational awareness.
Situational awareness.
This definitely goes back to how you were saying that people like are indoctrinated now to act like men. You're not fighting anymore.
Yeah.
For like, I heard that you said that you hooked up with my girl. Da 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 da. There's not gonna be a fight out in the schoolyard nowadays.
Yeah, they're going to report your Instagram and have you take it down.
Exactly.
You fucked my girl, therefore I'm going to report your Instagram and have it take it down, and I'm going to get copyright strikes on your YouTube. That's what I'm going to do because you had sex with. Like that's what's going on. You're exactly right. Whereas before it was time to fight. You know, and like the thing is, while I don't condone violence, I do think there is like, and by the way, I am very much. So the thing is, I work with some anti-bullying campaigns, and with those anti-bullying campaigns, we're talking about people who are just harassed endlessly to the point where they end up committing suicide. Of course, I'm completely against that. Dudes on the football team, when you're a freshman and the seniors make you carry their pads, that's not fucking bullying. That is not bullying. There's a certain normal level of physical interaction. If you ever watch other mammals, like gorillas or cats or whatever, there's a hierarchy.
We just call it seniority.
But they're also teaching the young, hey, get used to quick violence. Get used to the thing changing, and then start having some alertness and awareness. You'll develop faster, quick twitch muscles.
First
You
thing
become
I
more
did when I
aware.
met this guy, we started fucking with each other.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly right. There's a certain necessity for that, and then the problem is sometimes I'll meet guys that are younger, and I'll make a joke about them, and they'll take it so personally, and then later come to me and goes, "Dude, I thought you hated me," and I was like, "No, dude, I was just joking. I don't like," and that's the problem that happens for women. You guys don't have this problem. You want to know why? Anybody know?
Because we're women.
We're already that way.
No, because for two reasons. Number one, evolutionarily, you are more akin to reading facial expressions and being able to tell the hierarchy in a room because it's an evolutionary adaptation. And number two, you are approached more between the time you go through puberty and you're 21 than I will be approached in my entire life. You have been approached by several people. When you approach a dude, there's no fear. When you approach a woman, there's no fear for you ever. Maybe your favorite celebrity, you might feel a little bit of anxiety, but there's no approach anxiety for women because everyone wants to hang out with pretty girls. No one is offended by well, that's not true, but like most people are not offended by pretty girls, and so because
Guys
of that,
in the chat are.
so because what that happens now, we have men and we have. This is another area where men are falling drastically behind women, where because the phone has made it so that men are now even more completely uncalibrated, right? Because they're not having interactions.
Let me read this out here. The reason why I wanted to get into this topic today was there's a new article that was off of The Hill, and this has been making the rounds on Twitter recently. It says most young men are single, most young women are not.
I saw that.
More than 60% of young men are single, nearly twice the rate of unattached young women, signaling a larger breakdown in the social, romantic, and sexual life of the American male. Men in their 20s are more likely than women in their 20s to be romantically uninvolved, sexually dormant, friendless, and lonely. They stand at the vanguard of an epidemic of declining marriage, sexuality, and relationships that afflicts all of young America. We're in a crisis of connection, said Niobe Way, a psychology professor and founder of the Project for the Advancement of Our Common Humanity. That's a mouthful.
Kirsten, what do you think?
There's actually a thing like that. And then let me keep going.
What's that in layman's terms?
Disconnection. Okay, here's your layman's terms. Disconnection from ourselves and disconnection from each other, and it's getting worse. In a worst case scenario, the young man's social disconnection can have tragic consequences. Okay, they go through the incel thing here. Society. Okay, here's it.
What was that first stat? Half as many.
So it's like 60. Okay, women now collect 60% of bachelor's degrees. But the beginning of it was more than 60% of young men are single, nearly twice the rate of unattached young women.
So more women that are young are in relationships and fewer men are in relationships. Remember what you just said before? Why do you think that is?
Well, earlier I think I was just thinking back to like when I was that age.
Yeah.
So I was like,
but you were probably very pretty then, like you are now, and there was probably a lot of dudes that wanted to date you then, right? So but like the thing is, it's getting to a relationship for an attractive woman is more of a passive thing, right? Whereas for a man, it is more like we have to compete with other men.
Yeah, I could see that. Like I'm very passive about it. For sure.
You don't go out and just go to bars and just hit on men reciprocally.
Beautiful
Hey, are you gonna take me out on a date? You don't do that?
No.
Okay, got it. No. That's pretty funny.
I have as of 2022, Pew Research Center found that 30% of U.S. adults are neither married, living with a partner, nor engaged in a committed relationship. Nearly half of all young adults are single, 34% women, and a whopping 63% of men. Not surprisingly, the decline in relationship marches astride with a decline in sex. The share of sexually active Americans stands at a 30-year low. Around 30% of young men, you just said this, reported in 2019 that they'd had no sex in the past year. About 20% of young women did, compared to 20% of young women, right? So only half of single men are actively seeking relationships, even casual dates. According to Pew, that figure is declining. So what I thought was funny here is that this is the best. Here's the kicker. That's a shot. Here's a chaser. Young men are watching a lot of social media. They're watching a lot of porn, yada, yada. But here's the thing. Even seasoned researchers struggle to fully account for the relationship gap between young women and young men.
That's insane.
If single young men outnumber single young women nearly 2 to 1, then who are all the young women dating?
Who is it, guys? It's funny. All the women said older men at the same time.
That was insane.
And somehow this Pew researcher can't figure this out.
Seasoned researchers struggle to figure this out.
There's a book called Dataclysm that kind of points this out. You can actually just look this research up. For women, the most right swipes you get on dating apps. For men, the most right swipes you get on dating apps. Steph, what years do you think it is for women? It's a line. It goes like this. What do you think those years are for women that get the most right swipes?
I think for women, it's probably younger men.
No. What years of women were the peak right swipes?
Oh man. I don't even know. I don't right or left swipe, so I have no idea.
Which do you think men pick?
I think men pick older women.
Really?
To a certain point, I think some men are looking for the same thing that women are looking for. They want women are looking for an older man to take care of them or to show them things.
That's pretty common.
I think some men are now, with the way life is now, I think men are kind of leaning more.
So older,
that way as well.
more experienced women.
More experienced women. I think the older men are looking for younger women,
Got
but
it.
I think the younger men are looking for older, more experienced, maybe
Really?
more wealthy
Okay.
women.
Let's talk about that.
No, I think I get.
showman.
What she's saying. I think, like that younger men just kind of they're
They
like.
see how women are moving. They see how
Yeah.
women are
And they don't
attracting
like it.
older men, and
So they see
women
that
are-
one person that's like has their like shit together in a sense,
women
and then
are
they're like,
benefiting
"Yep,
from it.
that's it."
So they're
You think
yeah.
men are
I agree with
picking
that. I
women
agree
based
with-
on having their shit together?
Yes.
I think
No, like young men, yeah, because young men, yep, kind of,
Yes.
because they always are the ones that they're going to be the
'cause they
first
don't
ones
wanna
to walk up
work.
to you and be like,
People are looking
"You're
for
fake because you have
yes.
fake boobs." Like I'm going to hear it from somebody my age before anybody else, and then they're going to trash on you.
Babe, those men
just trash on you.
Babe, those men are just losers. They're not getting with you or
well,
older
yeah,
women.
doy, but like I'm just saying that I think that
Kate-
I kind of get what she's saying.
Katie,
I think
what do you
get
think
that
about this?
mindset.
If going back to the age, I know it's between 18 and 25.
Okay, cool. What do you think? The women get the most right swipes. What age?
Ooh.
I mean, I think it's younger women. I don't know.
What do you think, Kirsten?
I'll go with younger too, just because every guy always thinks I'm way younger than I am.
If you had to give a 4-year age range,
You should do not complain about that.
I mean,
That's
you know,
That's a
but
good
then I
thing.
have all these young guys hitting on me all the time, and I'm like,
Okay. So two things.
Yes.
Number one, the correct answer is 23 to 25 is the age range that where most of the right swipes are. Number two, there was a study done by Dr. David Buss in 1989 where they did 37 different cultures, and they asked, and there's two things that were kind of several things that were universal.
Chat
which,
saying 21 to 27.
yeah, well, there's several things that were universal amongst all these cultures. Remember, these are Yanomamo tribe members. These are people who live in the Andes Mountains. These are people who live in Asia, people who live in Europe, people who live in North America. All these different 37 cultures, many of them didn't have any access to television, radio, anything. And they all found the same things. Women prefer men taller than them. Women prefer men with a 1.65 to 1 shoulder to waist ratio. Men prefer women with a 0.72 hip to waist ratio. Women prefer men care way more about a woman's virginity or body count than women care about men's. These are all across the board, and men in all 37 cultures preferred younger women. Younger men preferred younger women. Middle-aged men preferred younger women.
90-year-old guys
older
preferred
men
younger-
preferred younger women. Dr.
15-year-old kids.
Dr. David Buss comes on the show, and he talks about one of his colleagues who said, as I got older, what I expected was for me to be attracted to older women, meaning as I turned 60, I wanted to be attracted to 40-year-olds. And what he said is that is not what happened at all.